What's good, YouTube? This is KB LaFleur. You can call me KB. Welcome back to another video, man. We got something pretty good today, man. Oh, boy, man. We got some sisters back at it again, man, with another one, right? We got some sisters back at it again with some irresponsible ideas and behaviors, right? We're pushing false narratives. Lies is the best of the best when it comes down to these sisters and these platforms and podcasts, man, because it's just mighty wild. Now, I'm not even saying what she's saying here is lying, but what she is doing is she's trying to push a false narrative that, hey, well, listen, my parents forced me to have a child, even though she did say in the video that, hey, I wanted my child anyway, right? But most of your parents will tell you, you're not, first of all, I get so many women sit over here saying, hey, well, you know, you need to pick and choose and this, that, and the third, but you have so many women, man, who will say, hey, man, listen, I'm a pro-lifer. Your parents are sitting up here saying, hey, man, listen, no, this is the consequences of laying down with other boys, right? And you're going to have this child, right? And you're going to sit over here and you're going to take care of this child because this is 9 times out of 10 something that I told you not to do, right? 9 times out of 10, this is something that I told you, man, hey, listen, you need to be on the right path. You shouldn't be chasing these boys. But she's not going to listen. I'm pretty sure if I can find a picture of her, man, when she was 17 years of age, it would tell the whole story. And I get it. Some women going, oh, you telling a story off of a picture? Yep. If I got a picture of a dude with a bunch of tattoos, I'm not going to sit here and think he a freaking executive man of Nike. No, like I'm sitting here thinking, man, your brother probably, man, got some, brother probably in the hood, brother probably got some issues. I don't know. Right, I don't know, but I'm not thinking anything good. Just how she carried herself, just how she is looking. And I'm not saying that she's a bad person, but I'm just saying she looks like one of your regular sisters, man, who was fast growing up, who was in the streets, who lived by the code of YOLO. Hey, listen, I'm young. I got my beauty. I'm going to live how I want to live. Let me live. That's how a lot of your sisters and a lot of your women in general roll. Let's just go ahead and look at the video. Let's go ahead and look at her just deflect. I mean, the women in here is just unbearable. The women in this damn video is unbearable, but let's just go ahead and jump into it.
My family, was so upset with me for getting pregnant with my son, but at the same time, I was one of the people who was subjected to, you gonna keep this baby because you made your bed, lay in it. I didn't want to get rid of my son anyway, but on top of that, I'm not helping you. Figure it out.
Yep.
So that's what happened to me.
But
that's what started.
It's a cycle in the black household, though.
It was like, I'm not helping you. I'm not you figure it out. So thank God.
Telling your kids to figure some out is heartbreaking.
Yeah,
when I got older enough,
look at me for 2 seconds. So upset.
2 seconds. I am so sorry that you had to go through on your own. Same. Because figure it out to your kid. I couldn't fix my lips right now to look at my daughter.
Yeah, I was
and
a baby.
Figure it out.
I was a baby.
I couldn't.
I was 17.
You deserve all the apologies.
I had only been 18 for 4 months when I pushed my son out. And reality didn't hit me that I was having a kid until I pushed him out. It was all fun and games while I was pregnant, but when that baby hit my arms, the weight of the world fell down on me.
And she keeps saying, like, you hear this one over here saying that it's a cycle in the black household. No, it's a cycle in the black household, man, where the daughter is in the streets being fast. It's only in the black households, man, where your parents and a lot of your kids don't live by codes, don't live by boundaries. They allow their daughters to just be whatever they want to be, supposedly. Talking about it's a cycle in the black household, yes, of course. I mean, I can tell you, when I went to middle school and high school, I've never heard or seen any white woman, Indian woman, or Asian woman pregnant. Not even Hispanic women. You would think that, but I didn't even see any Hispanic women pregnant or having kids. So of course you're talking about a cycle in the household, of course, right? Of course you're going to see that. Of course it's a cycle in the household, because once again, a lot of parents are not doing what they're supposed to do. Fathers and mothers, they're just allowing their daughters to do whatever. Mainly your mothers, because that's where a lot of these girls, man, who have this kind of mindset coming from. A single parent household ran by a mother. But here you are, what do you expect? What do you expect? It sounds like she has an old head mother, but then again, at the same time, I mean, and some things happen. I mean, as somebody said, just kind of give her some grace to some degree. I ain't really giving her no grace, but I mean, at the end of the day, it can be true that, hey, guess what? Hey, she probably accidentally kind of probably broke or whatever. I mean, let's not act like, man, we don't experiment when we're in high school with the ones that we like. I mean, it happens, right? It happens. But once again, Where's your baby father at? Is she married? You know, that's the biggest question too, right? I think she isn't, but I mean, hey, you gotta look more into it. But I mean, where was the baby father at through this whole thing? That's my question. Where was the baby father at through this whole thing? But once again, when we allow your girls to sit over here and be so young, 17, 18 years of age, and want to be liberated and all that extra stuff, this is what you get. You're gonna see a lot of girls, man, that's 18, 19 years of age. As soon as they get out of high school, they jumping right on that pole. Avoiding accountability at its finest. That's all this is avoiding accountability at its finest. You can't get upset because, hey, guess what? You know, they wanted to throw me out in the world. What are their parents supposed to do? Right now, granted, hey, yeah, man, you know, my child needs it, but you're still at the stage, you're still at the stage of your life that you still need to learn. So yeah, they're going to try to make you learn. Yeah, they're definitely going to try to make you learn. Now, I don't sound like, I don't know if she kicked him out the house, but once again, man, well, I guess it did sound like he did get kicked out of the house, but for the most part, man, once again, listen, at the end of the day, this is a ship that you wrote. And like I said, you still gonna have to put some I would say for at least this sister right here, probably gonna have to put some blame on the parents as well, because once again, you are like where was your wherewithal? Where was your eyes at one? Like, I mean, but once again, like I said, kids who do certain things, man, is very telling of the parents as well. So, I mean, but once again, at the end of the day, it's still her fault. It's still her fault because she is still old enough to know right from wrong, and she chose to do wrong. But of course, you're gonna have plenty of women. Oh, you don't know the full situation. You don't know the full story. I mean, you're gonna say that about every single video that you see. Then at what point, man, do you sit over here and say, okay, man, pattern of recognition? If we constantly keep seeing these girls constantly going through the same thing over and over and over, no baby father in the house, no father with the child that she had the kid with, and we are, and the only response that women can make up is, well, you don't know what she went through. Well, but you don't know the full story, so why you even commenting on it? That just tells me that you don't have no argument. That just tells me, man, that hey, you're just going off of feelings. You're triggered by what I'm saying. You don't have a response for it. So the only thing that you can say is you don't know the full story. Yeah, you're right. There's a lot of clips I don't even know the full story too. But I can just tell you just off the strength of, hey, this sister is over here on the camera cussing black men out as usual. But then come to find out, she hates black men. I mean, once again, pattern of recognition, people. Understand that pattern of recognition. So let's go ahead and read these comments, man. Someone says, but you played adult games and the family had to make you see reality so you don't take the same road twice. Someone else says, so we apologizing for irresponsibility. I see why the men say women are allergic to accountability. Someone else says they made you have the baby or refuse to let you yoke the baby after spreading your legs. You shouldn't be effing. I would told your ass to figure it out too, since you want to be grown. Sidebar, I had my first one at 17. Someone else says zero accountability because didn't nobody tell you to spread your legs, right? Once again, you had the wherewithal not to do that. You had the wherewithal to say, you know what? Hey, listen, if it is going to happen, if I am going to do that, this is where not avoiding your band members and avoiding your quote unquote nerds or your unpopular guys. If you would have dealt with them and you had a child with them, I'm pretty sure 9 times out of 10, hey, it is what it is, baby. We got it together. You're still going to struggle. At the end of the day, you're still going to struggle, but it's not going to be that hard because guess what? At least you're struggling with a man who's going to take care of you at the end of the day. Y'all can go through it together. But once again, you're going to see plenty of sisters, man, coming out of high school with tons of babies and no baby father, right? Once again, as I stated before, I went to high school in 9th grade. There was a girl who had, I want to say, a year-old or 2-year-old child in the 9th grade. I'm talking about my first 2 weeks. I knew, man, I was like, oh yeah, this is high school. When I came up in there and I'm like, hey girl, man, like, you know, we over here chit chatting or whatever. And she's like, yeah, I got a child. Oh my God. I mean, you had that child back when you were in damn 8th grade or 7th grade. Like, what in the world? Someone else says, I mean, not having sex was a choice as well, especially at 17. Someone else says that's because some parents enjoy seeing their children struggle, right? So just looking at about a bag nurse, I mean, I can just tell, man, once again, hey, you probably had some issues with your family and you probably raised by a single mother. And once again, I'm not slinging this on everybody, but I mean, once again, when you start defending certain behavior, I can just only imagine that, hey, they probably going through the same thing. That's why they're so triggered about it. Right. But I mean, hey, so someone else says, I encourage every young lady who needs help raising her child to abort mission immediately. If you know you have a shitty support system, abort mission immediately. If you know that man who hunched on you and and he cannot help you, abort mission immediately. And once again, guys, she even said, man, hey, listen, hey, they forced it on me to keep the baby, but also I didn't want to give the baby up anyway. I mean, once again, even if your parents were behind your corner, you would have still took the baby. I mean, but once again, man, this is where we got to understand that just because you think, hey, well, you know, I'm 17, I'm 18 years of age, I can just have a child and I can just throw it on my parents. No, right? No. Especially when you have some dysfunctional parents, man, who think they know what they're doing, but a lot of times they're really not even as active as they think they are. And you're having to follow behind them. Once again, man, that ain't a good look, right? So that's why I say you also have to look at the parents too. But I mean, hey, do me a huge favor, man. Leave me a like, leave me a comment, leave me a subscribe, man. And once again, man, this is avoiding accountability at its finest. Avoiding accountability one-on-one, right? Do me a huge favor, like I said, do me a huge favor. Leave me a like, leave me a comment, subscribe to the channel for some more content.